and the way the fight is clean, the way you're throwing your punches, and that would possibly give you, if it gets to the last 2 rounds, you give or take, you want to say maybe they have 3-3 in the other 6 rounds, but this last 2 rounds that will count eventually.
8 rounds, absolutely no doubt. He's grown into the fight. There's more of an air of confidence over these 2 rounds. A little bit of posturing, as you say, towards the judges, just to let them know, listen, I've always had this one under control. I'll take it away from him in the last 2.
And he's done that same thing, when he knows he's in trouble, it's exactly what he did there. Just get yourself out of trouble and just stay on top.
And 8 rounds in the bag for the man on the comeback trail. Still, we're not absolutely positive if he's done enough, but I think Michael McKinson is back with a victory. Ultimate subscription, the best way to watch the best fights here on the zone. This may not be filed in
I think he's done it as well.
Don't click next Saturday. Manchester's Co-op Live provides the backdrop to a battle of Britain between Fabio Wardley and Daniel Dubois, with the WBO World Heavyweight title the prize. That one, of course, included as part of your ultimate subscription, the best way to watch the best fights here on the zone. This may not be filed in the category of one of the best fights we'll ever see, but for Michael McKinson, crucial rounds in the back.
Absolutely, those 2 rounds, very, very crucial. It's pretty much like he set it all up by himself. And of course, Benga, I don't know what I would say. He played into the script as well, but all in all, I think McKinson set him up with a lot of those roughing it and scrapping it, but he chose the right time to actually become clean and score the points. But I can see mutual respect between these 2 fighters, and I'm sure McKinley will be telling him that was brave of you to just step into the ring 24 hours without knowing your opponent like that.
The 7th and the 8th almost looked like he may have been suggesting there, Benga, let's do it again, let's go again. It is a late replacement, a 4-4 fighter, probably heading towards the end of his career, but now a lease of life.
Absolutely. But then, of course, there is also the element of a draw as well. I mean, if
the judges,
2 of the referees, see the fight close or give the boxers each one, and then we have a last one scoring a draw, we could possibly see a minority draw or something like that around there.
Well, it looks like the maths have been done. The card has been handed in, but who has got the better on that card? We are about to find out. Is Michael McKinson back with a win? Or could this be the last time we see the Pompey man? It's a big, big decision, and it's coming courtesy of Victor Godfrey.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 8 rounds of boxing, we go to the scorecard. The first judge rules this 73-79. Our second judge scores it 72-80. And our third judge scores this 72-80. Your winner by unanimous decision, Michael the Problem McKinson.
No problem in the end for Michael McKinson. They said ahead of this that it's must win, it's make or break. If we don't win, we're done. Well, Michael McKinson now lives to fight another day. His career back on track, and in the end, the right decision.
Yeah, the right decision. And you can see a bit close, but eventually, like we said, I can almost tell you that it's those last 2 rounds that actually swung it in the favor of the Problem himself. Well, at the end of the day, not any problem at all.
Well, Michael McKinson got the win that he craved. The Problem is back, not quite back with a bang, but it's job done in Lagos.
This season, how was it? Really good. Nice to meet you. Good morning, mate. Nice to meet you. How are you? Yeah. Hi, guys. The pyramids of Giza in Egypt should be some backdrop. It should be some fight and it's a fight with a difference. Because Alexander Usyk will make his boxing return, defending his WBC heavyweight title against the former kickboxing champion Rico Verhoeven. Should be something else that Rico got himself into.
What do I bring different to the table is I'm coming with kickboxing angles.
If you see something that doesn't look right, stop.
I did my shot, man.
To get in the ring with a guy like Usyk and to commit to a fight with someone like AJ, you have to be one,
angles.
confident, and two, probably a little bit deluded. Because if you look at it on paper, he shouldn't be in there with Usyk. But he has also, I would say, a mountain to climb. I think it's fair to say he has a pyramid.
I did my shot, man. On May 23rd in Egypt, 2 worlds.
To get in the ring with a guy like Usyk and to commit to a fight with someone like AJ, you have to be one, full of confidence, and two, probably a little bit deluded. Because if you look at it on paper, he shouldn't be in there with Usyk. But he has also, I would say, a mountain to climb. But I think it's better to say,
And that's going to be the reason why I'm going to beat you.
we'll see.
In May, we head to Egypt, but before that, we're in London for the official launch press conference for Glory in Giza.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the official launch press conference for Glory in Giza on May 23rd of this year, live at the Pyramids of Giza, Egypt, exclusively worldwide on DAZN.
In May, we head to Egypt, but before that, we're in London for the official launch press conference for Glory in Giza.
Alexander Usyk, the genius of modern boxing. What a performance! What a statement!
It's an intriguing one, isn't it? Alexander Usyk against Rico Verhoeven. That one comes your way May 23rd and is part of a great heavyweight season on DAZN, which includes the WBO World Title Showdown between Fabio Wardley and Daniel Dubois, and the David versus Goliath matchup. Dave Allen taking on Filip Hrgovic. Right, welcome back inside the Federal Palace Hotel. Interesting. Big win, that one for Dickinson. It's an intriguing one, isn't it? Alexander Usyk against Rico Verhoeven. That one comes your way May 23rd and is part of a great heavyweight season on DAZN, which includes the WBO World Title Showdown between Fabio Wardley and Daniel Dubois, and the David versus Goliath matchup. Dave Allen taking on Filip Hrgovic. That one May 16th. All those fights back to back to back. That was probably 160 pound fight. Right, welcome back inside the Federal Palace Hotel. Interesting. Big win, that one for Dickinson. Very big win. Tough opponent as well.
Tough. You know, sometimes them opponents that come in last minute, sometimes are tough.
But there is a big fight. Wolverhampton tomorrow night. Conor Walker.
Yeah, I mean, I want to
Sam Egerton. They want me everywhere. I need to get my own jet. That's what I need. Yeah, it was. And the guy looked very big as well. Obviously, Dickinson, you know, a career welterweight. I think that was probably a 160 pound fight. Both of them look very big. But as you say, big win for Dickinson because the show goes on. And that's the most important thing. I will be leaving the venue in a minute. The only reason I'm doing that is not because I'm not enjoying myself. I am, but there is a big fight in Wolverhampton tomorrow night. Conor Walker versus Sam Egerton. They want me everywhere. I need to get my own jet. That's what I need. It is a good problem to have. That's going to be a slugfest. That's going to be like the old school prize fighter fights where you only really need 3 rounds.
Both of them bring it.
Elvis
I think the
needs
fans
to
are going to be in for a treat.
I like all the antics. Wolverhampton stand up. It is sold out. So the only way to watch that fight is live on DAZN. This one coming up next is an interesting one. Elvis Ahura. They call him the soldier, the Terminator.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. squash a nigga. He takes everything, right? He's got the whole line with him. He takes on Joe Laws. Interesting fight. Joe Laws, again, someone that's moving up in weight class. Elvis needs to perform. I like. Again, someone that's moving up in weight class. Elvis needs to perform. I like. Elvis.
So Lauren Japet, the Tanzanian, with a huge opportunity tonight. The third southpaw we've seen in a row. His last bout ended in a loss. He's been so inconsistent of late. 3 defeats in his last 7. But if he gets it right here, he's a WBO African Super Lightweight Champion. The ring walk conjuring memories of Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr. The ring walk conjuring memories of Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr.
I think not. I'll send a letter to my friend.
Making his way to the ring from the blue corner is Basit
the Joker Boy. But it's no laughing matters tonight. The WBO Super Lightweight title on the line. He strapped a few bits of gold around his waist in his short Here comes Basit Adebayo with entourage. But he is a man worth watching. And is he a man who's about to add another title to his collection?
Yeah, absolutely. A very, very wonderful boxer. Calls himself the Joker Boy because he feels he always takes everything with a smile on his face, but he can be deadly and very decisive. So Japet Lauren will have to be on top of his game. I mean, you can see the number of belts he's coming into the ring with, and that tells you something that he's definitely a formidable opposition.
Yeah, he was very relaxed at what was quite a chaotic weigh-in yesterday. Seems to take everything in his stride.
Pretty much like the Joker.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 8 rounds for the vacant WBO Africa Super Lightweight Championship. It is presented by Dr. Ezekiel Adamu of Balmoral Promotions, as well as Amir Khan of Amir Khan Promotions. This bout is sponsored by One Win, MTN, Octera, Co-Box, the Lagos State Government, Super Commando Energy Drink, the Lagos State Sports Commission, Easy Luxury Autos, The Zone, On Board, Relay FM, Waka Now, Team 33 Promotions, and City Plug. This bout is supervised by the Lagos State Sports Commission, Director General, Mr. Lekon Fatudu, and of course sanctioned by the World Boxing Organization, Africa. Our supervisor at ringside is Samira Captain from Ghana. Our timekeeper is Olushola Ajala from Nigeria. And our ringside judges are Erasmus Owo from Ghana, Sheyi George from Nigeria, and Constance George Chinagaram from Nigeria. Inside the ring, in charge of the action is our referee, Roger Bano from Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, the officials are ready. The fighters are ready. Lagos, make some noise if you are ready! Introducing first, he is fighting from the red corner in white trunks, weighing officially at 63.2 kg. He has an impressive fight record of 32 bouts, 20 wins, 4 by way of knockout, 9 losses and 3 draws. All the way from Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, he is the former West African Boxing Union Super Featherweight Champion, Lauren Jaffet! Fighting from the blue corner, he is wearing white trunks with blue trims. He comes in officially weighing at 63.2 kilograms. He has an impressive fight record of 11 bouts, 9 victories, 4 by way of knockout, no losses, and 1 draw. He is representing Lagos, Nigeria. He is the former Nigerian lightweight champion, Basit Jokabo Adebayo. He is representing Lagos, Nigeria. He is the former Nigerian lightweight champion, Basit Jokabo Adebayo.
Big honest. Big honest.
Good evening, guys. Great brace, stop for him and performance to defend yourself at water. Any person has any person or good luck and shake hands.
First title fight of the night. Adebayo, 9.
Good evening, guys. We do a great brace, stop for him and performance to defend yourself at water. Any person has any person or good luck and shake hands.
There's a discrepancy in experience. How much will that count for in this one? Our first title fight of the night. Adebayo, 9-0-1, just 70 rounds boxed compared to the 215 on Lauren Jaffet's. There's a discrepancy in experience. How much will that count for in this one?
Yeah, you can see it as well. Very glaring. 29-3, 20, and of course, both of them obviously showing that they're not particularly knockout specialists. So I wouldn't be surprised if this goes the distance. But they have shown that they are very durable boxers, and I think it's all going to be down to tactics and the person who's able to score more points eventually. I'll be shocked to get a knockout in this fight. Good job.
Certainly looks on paper like one that could go the whole way. As you say, Adebayo is trying to establish that jab. It is another orthodox southpaw contest. And having some joy there.
It's a very good mix. Just like Harry talked about earlier. You can see that flying, over. And the man from looking at the stance, obviously the man from Tanzania, from Dar es Salaam, the capital, the southpaw, and of course Adebayo Basit Jokabo, the one who fights with the orthodox style. So it's a very good mix, just like Gary talked about earlier. You can see that flying, overhand left coming from Lauren. That seems to be his strength, especially when that might be what Basit will need to watch out for. It's just
both men just 4 stoppages apiece. only 26. Adebayo has fought considerably less.
Especially when you look at the fact that he only turned pro in 2024. It's just 2 years ago. 9 fights since then. It's been busy too, to what we said next time.
Strangely, Japhet made his debut 10 years before that. He's still only 26. He was 14 when he made his debut.
I know Bajogo also made his debut when he was 15 as well. And he was absolutely cracking, like I said. So it might be the same kind of case with Japhet Lauren, who seems to have a fantastic head movement. But that's what he's rocking Joker Boy a bit. It's really making it difficult. You know, like we said, southpaws are always a very difficult prospect every time.
There's that wide-angled left hand which just had him staggered a little bit. He said, yeah, he started at 15. He won medals at the Nigerian Championship. Decorated amateur record, and as a youth, now looking to establish himself in the senior game.
He's always one of those who tries to weigh down his opponent gradually.
Cagey, as you'd expect at the start of a title fight.
Yeah, this is very fast. Absolutely. Both boxers testing each other out, sighting each other's punch power. And Adebayo has some things that he also likes to use a lot as well. That's body punches as well. He has a lot of variety of punches. And when he gets into his mix, he's always one of those who tries to weigh down his opponent gradually. I'm hoping to see whether he'll get this opportunity against the very fast-moving Lauren Japhet. The spirit of Karadari coming from the Tanzanian boxers, they always want, to keep any of their compatriots, any physical and emotional.
Our old friend Sedum Kola making his third appearance of the night, working in another one of his stablemates' corners. Also seems like the type that might fancy himself as a future coach. He's certainly got plenty of advice for his teammates. Japhet just staggered back. He walked onto that one.
Those are the kind of stuff that Joker Boy has. I think that first round, he took his time to kind of size up his opponent and see what he has. And I think that he might be coming out a lot more from the second round.
Really nice settled jab. He's got a nice relaxed stance about him. Adebayo. Japhet is a little bit more herky-jerky, I think, is the phrase that's often to his teammate describes. He tries to fuss and left back in. Great move. Japhet just staggered back. He walked onto that one.
Those are the kind of stuff that Joker Boy has. I think that what he's doing is lure him in, let him throw this jab, and then he ducks it back and go for a counter. He took his time to kind of size up his opponent and see what he has. And I think that he might be coming out a lot more from the second round.
Really nice settled jab. He's got a nice relaxed stop calling at time, keeping it tidy. It's about him. Adebayo. Japhet is a little bit more herky-jerky, I think is the phrase that's often describes. He tries to fire that left hand in, but it's great movement, and the judgment of the angles there from Adebayo was impressive.
Yeah, I think he's found out that the real punch is that left hook coming from Japhet. And what he's doing is lure him in, let him throw this jab, and then he drops it back and go for a counter.
Back up. Japhet here. Japhet happy.
I like the way the referee handled that bit there, finding out that both boxers have set
to hang on. That threatened to be a bit of a barrage on the ropes.
Yeah.
Gavana just calling keeping it tidy.
He's a very, very strict referee. He doesn't like, you taking undue advantage of your opponents. He's going to always call them into the ring. Oh, big uppercut there from Basit Joker Boy.
Lovely counter to blow, although Javit's corner are encouraged by some of his work in those exchanges as well.
Nice job there once again coming from Japhet. He's being careful and not wanting to get caught. I like the way the referee handled that bit there, you know, finding out that both boxers have separated themselves and didn't bother to get in between anymore. Good uppercut there and oh, nice job once again.
There's an awkward maneuver. He's trying to get the air of a man who can see things coming and get out of the way, but he's not been able to manage it so far.
I think where Japhet could get in trouble is once Joker Boy knows that he's got, you know, instant kick.
A little bit more, get that movement, and then...
Yeah, he's been trying to do it, but he's not making it look like, he's making it too obvious to really, you know, try to make it look like he wants to throw in a proper punch, but you know you're setting it up for the right.
Phrase a few times, commit to the feint. That's what he needs to do. Just taking a couple here, Japhet warming to the task here.
And there you see that, you know, head movement from Japhet, which is really causing and giving Joker Boy a whole lot of problems. As it makes Joker Boy is finding him a hard target, you know, to hit. And if he keeps doing that, but the problem with head movements is, you know, the quickness and the pace of that move keeps slowing down as the rounds goes because
yesterday when they were building the ring in here, there was no air conditioning and it was something of a sauna. Fortunately, pretty cool so far, but a lot cooler for us ringside than what it is in the ring.
Obviously, with all the lights, you know, focused on both of you in the ring, you definitely expect a lot of sauna, you know, temperature in there.
It's the bright lights of a title fight in there at the moment here at Chaos in the ring.
Very quick both boxers, you know, lunging forward with, you know, occasional quick stuff there.
Just missing with a huge right uppercut. Trying to get that jab working again at about.
You know, temperature in there.
It's a bright light.
And the best way to stop it is to, you have to set it up.
Of a title fight in there at the moment here at Chaos in the ring.
Very quick both boxers, you know, lunging forward with, you know, occasional quick stuff there.
Just missing with a huge right uppercut. Needs to get himself in range to attack. Trying to get that jab working again at about.
His problem is because he's throwing those jabs, and it's not really even touching the body. There's always going to be that head movement that he needs to try and stop. And the best way to stop it is to, you have to set it up. Joker was looking for that opportunity where he knocks forward. And he takes a step backwards.
Despite rolling proceedings, as neither can really land anything clean, neither really throw anything too much. And that was nice from Japhet as he avoided that barrage. But needs to get himself in range to attack, doesn't he, Japhet? It's no good slipping the shots from Adebayo if he can't offer anything himself.
Yeah, that might be where his problem is, because he's throwing those jabs and it's not really even touching the body of Joker Boy, and he might be tempted to want to come forward. I think that's what Joker Boy is looking for, that opportunity where he lunges forward and he takes a step backwards so he can have a clearer view and then, you know, go for the counter. There you go with that. Good uppercut there coming from Adebayo.
Lovely right uppercut. Really patient in this round, the Joker Boy.
You have to be when you're up against a boxer like this who's got a very quick and, you know, swift movement.
Frustration. He just had a long stare at the referee there.
Oh, nice one there, but it does look like more of a slack, focus point. Get it on the inside.
Didn't land it with any kind of real meat or force, Shaka. It's a scoring blow, though.
Absolutely.
He tries to. We think it's going the distance. Just those little moments. Those shots that sound good can also make a judge think.
From him again, dashes his way. Adebayo's guy in the corner still couldn't land any one of them.
Tell the frustration. He just had a long stare at the referee there.
Oh, that was even a good. And that's where he should follow up. Getting on the inside. He allowed him to escape there.
Nice counter work from Adebayo. Tries to whip the crowd up.
This is where I hope Adebayo can now start doing a lot more of those body punches. Those are the
WBO Super Lightweight African title. The prize. That's it, Adebayo. In the blue and white trunks, the man they call Joker Ball.
Only things that can slow Jaffet down a bit. But if he's going to do that, he's going to need to, take some risks and.
I can say for a fact, something is completely let off in the arena. It was causing something of a coughing fit, and that's not only us ringside, but also now those in the ring. And then the vacant WBO Super Lightweight African title.
We're gonna.
I can say for a fact something is completely let off in the arena. It's causing something of a coughing fit. It's not only us ringside, but also now those in the ring. It's been a great night so far.
And it does look like we're going to have to take a break for people to get themselves back. As we said earlier, as Kari said earlier, there's been a bit of a coughing fit.
So we've had confirmation. Apparently there is treatment action in the air.
Sprayed from the outside, but it looks like it's found its way into the hole.
Well, we always said a Friday night away in Lagos was going to be a tough old night. It's been a great night so far. But after a couple of minutes of this WBO African Super Lightweight title fight, there's been a slight pause in proceedings, and I can't remember there ever being a time at any other fight where a tear gas outbreak has caused the suspension in fighting.